Hey, this is Captainoob, and this is a two-shot Gatling laser with bullets exploding for area damage as a secondary legendary effect. That would make this thing a legacy weapon because it's an energy weapon with explosive bullets. They're particularly fond of legacy weapons in the PvP scene because they require not a lot of skill to use because you end up throwing a bunch of explosions everywhere that does a lot more damage that you could possibly obtain with any of the ballistic guns with explosive damage. So they're basically one step ahead of Teslas in terms of skill to use these things, but people like them anyway because they seem to be generally extremely powerful as compared to the other things. There's a couple of drawbacks, them being lame is one of them. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of how much two-shot is doing, this is a bloodied explosive Gatling laser. Bloodied is doing nothing right now, I'm at full health, and we're getting extra 3 points of damage, a whole whopping 3 points of damage, maybe more unlisted explosive damage, but I couldn't tell you unless I fire them side by side, which I will not be doing. I don't care that much to see this thing's performance, to be honest. But anyways, so what you get from this as compared to maybe a standard one-shot explosive Gatling laser or maybe a Gatling plasma is slightly less accurate than the single-shot explosive. But what that means is you can just basically spread your bullets around pretty tightly. When you've got stabilized, it's not all that unmanageable. So what you can do is, spray a bunch of bullets around and you'll generally hit what you need to hit. Unless you're at extreme ranges, which this thing isn't effective in any circumstances anyway, but it tends to be helpful, especially against a bigger creature at range. It's not really to its detriment, unlike the Gatling plasma, which I'd use with a beam splitter because that's how you throw the most explosives out. This thing can actually perform okay at medium to long ranges, provided you've got the right setup for it, which using stabilize and the true stuff, the refined beta wave tuner just adds the fire damage, but it also increases hip fire accuracy as well. So that's pretty good. 28 damage, meh, but we can improve this thing's damage through the use of perks. It's a heavy gun, so these heavy gunner perks go on, would you believe? Yes, that one goes on as well. I've got a master one, and then in luck, we've got Bloody Mess to get a multiplicative bonus of 15%, and the unlisted explosive damage is boosted by Demo Expert. You can notice this with and without using Demo Expert if you want to test with your own legacy weapons. They definitely do boost it. It is unlisted, so yeah, the numbers do lie to you, but now we're doing 52 damage as compared to 46. We've doubled the margin here. That's pretty good. I'm going to keep myself at full health for as much as possible, but if I do drop into Nerd Rage, I'll probably get rid of maybe Power User, because honestly, an 1,000-round magazine, whilst advantageous in a PvP fight, because you can just keep spamming your bullets all bloody day, against mobs, 500 will probably do you just fine. Anyways, well, I guess we'll get started. We'll jump into our Power Armor suit, which is still... It's still... Oh, it's not going to show it, but it's still Hellfire. Okay, so here we are outside of the 30 Seconds to Mars concert, and that's not terrible hipfire accuracy. They'll probably start spraying around when I actually start firing it, but yeah, Power Armor. I've got a jetpack, I've got emergency protocols, a sensing helmet for VATS accuracy, not that I'll probably be using that. I've also got calibrated legs and some braces. That's helpful. If I punch stuff, it'll be a little bit better. Anyways, we'll get started on these mutants and we'll see how we go. Yeah, no problems are going to be had here. I think they nerfed the crap out of the Strangleheart Power Armor, which I'm okay with because it was duped to hell anyway. Everyone who didn't bother doing the things was getting it because old mate fucking had a little bit of a guide and they dupe it, and it was breaking all of the queen fights for people on console mainly, but for people on lesser PCs than mine that can't handle all of the crap that this thing creates. It's a good change, to be honest. I wouldn't say that Strangleheart was ever overpowered, but it was kind of cheap. I don't need the Strangleheart armor to actually carry me through most of the fights. Even against something like a Scorched Beast Queen, I can definitely go without it. So, yeah, I'm happy I've still got Exo 1 for my other characters because, honestly, the extra 100 rad resistance is probably negligible in the long run. Especially since you can just pop a diluted Rad-X and that'll be fine. Yeah, you just try pumping me with explosives. I've got this perk. It's called a Fireproof. I've got that on because... Ooh. Okay, weirdly, sometimes they shoot you and they manage to get your fusion core. That guy must have had the penetrator perk because he managed to stagger me there, and there's a little bit of a gamma wave a gamma effect going on there. Gonna see how long this mag takes me to do, but yeah, 95 damage. As you can tell, the performance of this thing is of decency. It's pretty good. For the most part, you can get away pretty easily using two-shot weapons because the engagement range, at least average, is never going to be to your detriment all that much. The only time where I actually see it being a massive problem is if you're against a Scorch Beast and they're flying around, and they tend to fly pretty far around you, so when you've got a little bit of a range, a little bit of gap between you, that can get in your way, but for the most part, I mean, especially in here, we're going to be just fine when it comes to gunning mutants down with Gatling lasers. And since we are throwing so many explosives out, I can just stop aiming entirely and just kill them with splash damage if I wanted to. It's a cheap way to do it, but it's certainly a valid way to do it. If your weapon can dish out that much explosive damage to kill your enemies like that, well, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Good thing I've got Fireproof on, because that probably would have killed me. We are in Nerd Rage now, but we haven't got that perk equipped. That's okay, emergency protocols are on, so we're fine. I like making good use out of my fusion cores anyway. I might actually die here. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm actually being a little bit too aggressive right now. I can't exactly run up and do things as easily as I could with like a dense chest piece. There's been a couple of legendaries too. I'm gonna make a note to actually pick those up because I don't want to piss off that one guy who comments all the fucking time if I even miss one single legendary. I do go back and pick them up, sometimes off camera. I don't usually waste my time doing that because I've got nothing to say about it except for the disappointment that I've got when it actually drops. It's an explosive shotgun, yeah, nice. And unfortunately, I forgot to put my Gatling laser back in the stash, so I'm gonna have to be over capacity for the rest of this, but that's okay. We're almost done anyway. I think I did miss one legendary. I don't care enough to go get it. Unless I kill them right here. Unfortunately, that door's closed, so I can't just, fire through the rubble here. Kill them. Yes, the explosive damage seems to be doing well. And at full adrenal reaction, 101 damage. That's a Fallout 3 number right there. Oh, look at this maggot trying to shoot me with his little pea shooter. Yeah, good try. Oh, look, here's another legendary. Die. Yeah, that'll do it. What'd you drop me? No, thank you. Okay, now to deal with all of the 30 Seconds to Mars fangirls who have found my video from all the way across the internet just to tell me how much I suck. Yo, I learned today that Jared Leto... Fuck up, phone. I learned today that Jared Leto, the same guy who did that really bad Joker in Suicide Squad, he's the lead singer. That fucked me up when I heard that. I can't believe it. Anyways, so, crowd control situations, would you believe that this thing does alright? You don't have to stop firing either. Like, it's optional, but I don't like... Oh, are we done? I'm just getting warmed up. That was a pun because I said enemy was on fire, you see. Laugh at my jokes. Wow, these emo chicks really went crazy, didn't they? Okay, this time I'm going for a sneaky approach. Shut up, phone. That does it. Okay, I'm hungry in real life, and the sooner I kill these crabs, the sooner I get to eat, so die. Ah, yes, finally, luck of the draw has happened. Now, chuck that on instead of, Mysterious Savior, because this thing being two-shot, and a weapon that I'm not using without Gunsmith, will degrade quicker. I feel like I've killed more than 5 Mirelurks, unless it only counts the little crab dudes as Mirelurks, like the little basic crabs, and not the kings, but... They specifically say Mirelurk King. Also, this is the other stuff that's been dropping for me. Alright, we're down to our second health, but that's not too bad. Oh, look, bullet sponges. Now, these guys are good because, for a weapon that has pretty terrible spread, all things considered, they've got a good habit of catching every single projectile you throw at them. Also, have you ever heard the tragedy of Lucky Break, the perk? Is it Lucky Break? No, Luck of the Draw, the perk. It's a perk so powerful and so wise that it could even keep the weapons you care about from breaking. Ironic. It could save things from breaking, but not itself. Is it possible to learn this power, you might ask? Not from Todd Howard. Anyway, so I saw a bear run off in this direction. Yeah, that's just the standard Bethesda pathing of, I can't reach you, therefore I'm fleeing. There it goes again. How much is this? Oh, okay, I'm going to repair this before I fight any bats, because I know for a fact that it's going to take a mag and a half, and I do mean like a mag and a half with all my power user perks applied to kill the bats, because they've got fireproof. Everything in this game is broken. Can we get a patch, please, Bethesda? I know Wastelanders is important, but I kind of want this game to be, you know, somewhat functional. No bears in here, they're too fat to get through the door. Let's move on to the bats. Okay, I've sent it pretty hard during this video. Want to see how long it all takes me to get it together. I know I'd kind of half-assed the super mutants, so I didn't go into the hell room, but you saw me slaughter enough mutants to figure out what this thing was capable of. But now, range. Let's see what we can do. Look at that iron sight jumping around. I'm glad I've got these hit markers to actually let me know where I'm aiming. See, like I said before, this thing's got the right amount of spread where you can just completely spray your targets, and, like, to be honest, I think I only missed just the precious few shots on that Scorch Beast, because it was, I guess I was kind of in the sweet spot where my hipfire accuracy was good enough to actually, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Good to see the barrel spin-up bug is still a thing. Like, how can I even predict the recoil? Oh, he's decided to land over there. Well, I guess this is the ranged attempt for this thing. Curse your regenerating health bar. Doesn't want to regenerate half as much when I'm spamming explosives in it. Another amusing thing about legacy weapons like this is, if you get a bloody mess proc, bits go everywhere. That's kind of amusing, I suppose. Got a bunch of zombies to deal with. Might as well keep going. There's nothing that can stand against me now. I have to be in nerd rage to make this work. I'm not going to heal, though, because I don't have to. As soon as I get to... Ooh, the crickets have showed up. No, cricket season's over. We're in footy season now. Round 1 started last night. Ah, yes, I was waiting for this. Come on, Gatling laser. You can do it. Well, I'm still seeing a little bit of lag from the acid, so maybe they made the damage not stack anymore because it was overpowered, but the particle effects still stack. That's so dumb. I really would have... Am I seeing that right? Is this like a future change that they're doing? I feel like I read that on the patch notes once, but are you kidding me? They didn't stop the duplicating goddamn particle effects. Did they realize that that was actually the problem in the first place, not that it was overpowered? People can cheese the Scorch Beast clean with a goddamn Stalker's LMG, and then you're nerfing completely useless things like that. Thanks, Mom. Anyways, so if you'd like to see this gun in your game, fuck off, get your own, but I don't know, maybe if you'd convince me to... I don't know. I'm not really sure whether to get rid of it. It is heavy. Like, Gatling lasers in this game are obscenely heavy. Like, 35 pounds for that? When I have better enjoyment of the game firing off a LMG that's not legacy, just bladed and fire rate. Yeah, I could probably let this one go. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm keeping you in suspense because I've got nothing else to say. See ya.